Hey, the folks, these aren't new knives. You guys have seen this before if you watch the channel. But I wanted to show you some of the work performed by my friend, Joe Bananas. If you guys aren't on Instagram, you really should be. You should follow Joe Bananas on Instagram and a lot of great knife community people on Instagram. But Joe performs a service. He puts on a wicked edge on blades. So if you guys are interested, reach out to him. I'm sure he'll accommodate you. He calls it the Bananas Edge. And I just want to show you guys really quick what he's done here. And then following this vid will be his actual phone video that he filmed for me, because I asked him to film the process for me, and I was just interested in what he does. So if you guys are interested in that, it's going to follow right after this clip. So here's my Graham and Satu. You guys have seen this before with the Phantom Steelworks murder, I think this was the cadaver treatment. But if you look, let's see if I get the lighting just right here. There's Joe's Bananas Edge. I don't know if that, hopefully that shows on the vid. It's so beautiful. It's super sharp. Just gorgeous. There you can see a little bit of reflection. Hey! Yeah, just really awesome work by Joe over there. I've always been fascinated by these guys that have the patience to do this, because when you see the vid following, and it's a abbreviated vid, you'll see that it could be pretty tedious, you know. So I don't have the patience nor the inclination to do that. So thank God for buddies like Joe. So that's the Graham and Satu, and here's Edison's fin, Sharknico. You can see he also put the, let me show you, there you go, the edge on this one. This was a little more, this is actually the one you'll see on the video, and you'll see that it's a two-step process, because Joe had to grind this Tonto edge, and then he had to do the main edge. Just really beautiful. Look at that mirror. Wow. Alright, I'll put all Joe's information below, and enjoy the vid. Alright guys, peace.
One Sharpie marker, check. Painter's tape, check. Angle cube, so you know all them angles and shit, check. 100 grit and 200 grit diamond stones, check. 400 grit and 600 grit stones, check. 800 and 1000 grit diamond stones, check. Now switching to ceramics, 1200 and 1600 grit ceramic stones, checkmate. And the final step, 5 micron and 3.5 micron diamond leather strops, check. And here's our finished product. Well, not finished, but it's taped up. Some propaganda there. All taped up and ready to go. I've already made some marks. I'm pretty much just going to match what Edison had originally, but just clean it up a little bit. Oh, and these are the upgraded arms that I just got for the Wicked Edge too. These are really nice. This up here allows for micro adjustments. I can set the major angle here at 20 degrees. Actually, this is set at 21. It's off because of the blade thickness. But it's at 20 degrees down here, and then I make a micro adjustment here. And I've got it set at exactly 20 degrees on either side. But this allows for the micro adjustments with the key. And then just tighten them up by turning it. These are nice. This was a good investment to get these arms, the little ball joint things. Starting out with the 100 grit stones. Pretty much any time a knife is going on the wicked edge for the first time, you have to use the 100 grit stones, because the wicked edge puts everything at such a at a perfect apex. So by putting it on the 100 grit stones, they're so coarse. It chews away a lot of metal, and it sounds bad, but that's what it's designed to do. So you got to put it on the 100 grit stones first to start that apex on either side. So I'll do this side, then I'll do that side until I start to get a burr on either side, and then I'll know where I'm at. I'll check for a burr. I don't have one yet, so we haven't rolled the steel over to this side yet. So I want to make sure that I'm not with pressure, but I want to make sure that I'm taking enough metal off on this side to roll the steel over onto the opposite side to create a burr. Once I do that, then I can switch over to this side, start with my up and down motions to roll the steel back over, and at that point I'll clean it up a little bit, and then I can switch to the 200 grit stones and do the same thing over. And I'll do that through all the way through 1,000 grits. So each one of those sets of stones that I showed, I'll do that with every one of them, except for the ceramics and the strops, and that's it. Alright, it's been about 5 minutes since I paused it, and I'm done with the 100 grit stones. We got a burr on each side. Yeah, bitch! So now, basically just take these, flip it around, start with the 2 hundos, and then work those the same way, up and down like that, until I start getting a burr. Then I'll switch over to the 400, 600. Alright. Done with the 100, 200. The one thing I forgot to mention earlier too is I'm not doing the tanto part yet, Just do the straight edge first. I'll go through that with the progression of all the stones, then switch to this side. Because it's such an aggressive tanto, it's hard to, basically the measurements won't be the same this way as they are this way, so I'll need to reset it up again and run through all the progression of stones with this too. So it's a timely process. But onto the 400s. Bitch! Alright guys, this is Mike Snody coming to you live from my Northern Indiana knife sharpening shop. I'm just kidding, it's not Mike Snody. Alright dude, done with the 400, 600, right? Yeah. So now I'm going to the 800, 1000s. Now these are still diamond stones, so they're not, they don't polish because they're still diamond stones, so they are still removing quite a bit of metal. But you'll start to get a better refinement, I guess, of the edge and the scratches. It's kind of hard. Sorry if I'm making you feel... Alright, I figured I'd show you real quick before I get started with the 800s. This red stone here is a 100 grit. And you can see the abrasiveness of it. And then this is the 800. So if you look at the two together, you can tell that there's a big difference between this and this. Now this isn't wear, this is just how they are. This is designed to take off a ton of metal. This isn't. So once you get up to the 800s, it even feels smooth, but it still does take off some metal. And then even more so on the 1000s. This is the 1000 grit side. 800 and 1000. I'm sorry, 800, 1000. I had it backwards. This is still really smooth. Smoother yet. I mean, this doesn't even hurt to run my hand across. So I'll be doing these two next, and then we'll go to the ceramics. And once I get to the ceramic, you'll start to see a polish to it, and then that'll be refined more with the sandpaper. But I'll get to that in a minute. All right there, fruitcake. Onto the ceramics. Now we're gonna start polishing this biatch up. So here's what we're working with so far. Now you can start to really see the edge refinement. Except for back here, it's bugging the shit out of me, but nothing I can do. We're getting there. See yous in a few. Alright, so I just started. I mean, literally just started with the ceramics. And you can already start to see it mirror a little bit. And that's just because of how fine those stones are. Those diamond stones are super coarse. Even when they're up to 800 and 1000 grit, they're so coarse that it doesn't allow it to mirror. The ceramics do a real good job. Alright, so I'm done with the 1600 grit ceramics. As you can see, it's pretty mirrored. See it better from this side. It's got a pretty good mirror polish on it. Alright, Bro Namath. We are now done with the straight part of the knife. That's all the way through the progression of stones and strops. All the way down to 3.5 micron. I know this video is probably not, it's definitely not doing it justice, but I'm going to pause for now because I'm going to switch over to the Tonto part. And I don't want to have, it's basically going to be the same crap that I already showed you, so I'll come back when I'm done with the Tonto part, and I'll show you the whole thing. Alright, dude? Peace! Alright, man. All done. It's like a whole new knife. Yeah, boy. Alright, I'm going to clean it all up, take some pictures, send them to you, put these videos together. Hope you've enjoyed this segment of the Bananas Edge Workshop. Goodbye.